We live. Excuse me, I ain't eat nothing in 2 days. I ain't eat nothing in 2 days, like really, like food. I didn't eat nothing in 2 days. All right, oh man, refreshing. Joe Pro said Ash is a punk scammer. What's up, Joe Pro? Where you been at, man? Ash brought out everybody. Ash brought out everybody today. Brought out everybody. Can I join up on the show and speak on what we heard today? Yeah, of course. Man, I keep telling y'all, this is our show. This is not Poe's show. This is our show. Any of y'all can come up here anytime y'all want to. Any of y'all can come up here anytime you want to. Yeah, it's been a minute, Joe Pro, man. It's been a minute. All right, Aaron. What's up, Jay and my man? Appreciate you coming through. And Ash got the nerve to say, he said that he's been transparent. I'm like, transparent? How have you been transparent? Y'all been silent for 2 months. Been silent. No, they've been silent for what, 3 to 4 months? Just because you keep doing these tutorial videos and stuff don't mean that you're active in the community. That does not mean you're active. They haven't been transparent. Give me a second. I'm closing some of my windows so I don't lag. Get a lag. All right. Let me see who this is. Leafy. Leafy in the house. What's up, Leafy? What's up, Leafy?
Hey, Poe. How's it going?
All right.
Nice. I'm going to pull up the chat real quick on my computer. So if you hear some keyboard clacking, just pulling up chat.
Yeah. What do you think about the news?
All right. I'm going to have to break it down like a little bit just to get like my thoughts together because I watched it in school, like what Ash had to say, and then I went home for lunch. I heard what Fanatico had to say. And, I don't want to be a fool, right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, right? That's how the saying goes.
Yeah.
You fooled me once with Undisputed 1, right? You showed me like the candle skies, you showed me the fireworks, you showed me, the greatest things in the world. And when I got the game, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. There was problems. It was funky, clunky, buggy, But now with Undisputed 2, here's the thing. Ash broke it down really well, in my opinion. My personal opinion, he broke it down really well. He spoke on the fact that they were building off of a shoddy foundation that went from when he was developing it for the first time out of the comfort of his home, and then he brought that to the studio, and then they had to work off of that. So that was one thing, we didn't know that, and then he brought that up, and then Fanatical spoke on the fact that they have more physics driven systems, not physics. He spoke on there's new
Keep
systems in
talking. I'll be back.
place, like slipping and moving at the same time. All these great things, and I think, I'm not trying to sound like a shill, as people call it nowadays, whatever. Um, I think they're gonna do it right this time, honestly. Because here's the thing: we've got to remember this was the first game from Steel City, right? That's not an excuse. EA's first MMA game in 2010 killed Undisputed 2010, killed Undisputed 2009, and then THQ Nukes came back on top in UD3. But started out as a COVID project. They started out a little bit before COVID, and they worked through it with small funding. Probably made a bunch of mistakes. Then they got a bunch of money that they needed, and they fixed those mistakes. But they were still on a shoddy foundation, and then they released the game. And as a guy who's been trying to learn the game development, I know if you have a shoddy foundation, and then you keep learning how to make a game, how to what to correct, you're still gonna have issues if you're working off a horrendous foundation. There's no way to fix. There's no way to turn a 2003 Nissan Xterra into a 2026 Ferrari. You can't do that because all those parts in there are old. So if we think about it in this sense, they had a really old Volkswagen, and they were trying to make a McLaren, right? But now they're in a new engine. They're starting from ground zero. They have EA developers. EA was behind NBA Live, Need for Speed, Fight Night, FIFA, NBA Live. I think I already said that. They also owned Rock Band for a little bit. They helped out Harmonix on that. 2K, they're famous for their the NBA 2K series, all their simulation sports games from Top Spin 4 to All Pro Football 2K8, NBA 2K5, and then their NHL series. And then we've got Rockstar Games. They made all the Grand Theft Autos. They had Rockstar Table Tennis, a simulation table tennis game. So now we've got all these new developers. They've got a bunch of money. They're in a new engine. I think it's going to be successful. Ash still seems motivated to represent the true, real deal of boxing. He even said that in the video. He's like, I want this game to be a game for the boxing fans. We want to get the fundamentals right. So honestly, it's half and half for me. I'm excited for this new game. I'm gonna root SCI on. I'm gonna cheer him on from the sidelines. But I'm gonna stay a little skeptical. Just a little skeptical. But overall, I think what Ash said was great today. I think what Fanatico had to say really, piqued my interest. I know Fanatico is a good guy in the industry. I mean, not industry, but in the boxing game world. He's got he's working on the Thrill of the Fight 2. That's a simulation VR boxing game. So I think, I was a huge guy who was saying oh, fuck those guys. But now, after seeing the videos today, I think they deserve a second chance. Everyone in life deserves a second chance. And when you have people that mess up, you give them a second chance and they try to be better. You build a better relationship with them. You see the best out of that guy. So I think we just gotta give him a second chance, honestly.
Man,
If they fool me twice, I'm not giving them a third chance.
see, see,
But I think, we just gotta see what they're gonna do in the sequel. New foundation, more experience. bigger company, bigger budget. Let's just see. Let's just see.
Yeah, I just it's just me myself. I can't. My thing is Ash he made things bad with me.
Yeah.
How's it going, Vlad? Yeah, Ash made it bad with me because for one, he should at least try to repair what he had with me, as a person. But then it seemed like he taking a little dart. I don't know if he taking little shots at me because I always say that I talk to people from EA and 2K and in all these different companies. Now he's saying he hired all these people because my thing is, how do you go from hiring all EA guys? Because we noticed that. A person like me noticed that. Why are you hiring all these EA guys when you say he was acting like he was against EA? When we had our conversation, it was like, hey, I'm going against EA and I'm ready for EA. That's how he was talking. So now I see you with EA guys, but I guess he said, hey, Poe, you can't say nothing because you hooked me up with Will Kinsler and he's an EA guy, literally. But at that point, Will was not a part of EA. He was a part of I forget the Unity.
Epic Games.
Yeah, Epic Games. He was part of Epic Games. And my thing was, but Will, his thing is, I remember we got guys in EA that made a boxing game. So it seemed like Will was doing the hiring. Now they got all these 2K, they got these so he's saying all these guys that I say, why you ain't hiring other people? Why are you not hiring people outside of EA? You hiring everybody A. Now you talking about, yeah, we talking to somebody from 2K. We talking to somebody from this company. What are you talking about? And then your thing with what's called them with Boxing Fanatical.
Yeah, Fanatico.
With Boxing Fanatical, I know a lot of people in the community like them and everything. I like Box Fanatical, but I gotta stop being that guy. Like, I support everybody in the community. I share their content. I talk highly about them. Like, even with Boxing Fanatical, when Ash first talked to me, Ash talked to me before he talked to anybody in the community. And it's documented. Ash talked to me before anybody when he started going public. And I said, I know this guy, Box Fanatical. I know this other guy. I was telling him all these people in the community that he should bring on board. But once these people got in position, they pushed me out. It's like my name became taboo. I'm like, yo, what the heck? What did I do to y'all? That makes no sense. Poe want realism. We don't really want realism. That's what I see. It's like Poe wants too much. He's the problem. He's too passionate. And he's gonna make everything go south. That makes no sense to me, though. That makes no sense. Even Teofimo said that he wanted the game to be realistic. See, boxers have a different aspect for what things should look like than what a gamer think a game should look like. And I told Teofimo he liked my post. He liked it with you. You ain't see that he liked it too? He liked that post. And I said, I respect that you did that. Let me see. What, Aaron left back out of there, came back in? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, no, I feel like they need to pull you back in because you're a good guy. You've got good knowledge on your hands. I think you'd be a huge thing with Undisputed too. But like I said,
my thing is, stop why everybody feel like they gotta push me out? I'm too passionate, or they what's his Estevan? That Joker do not like me. he do not like me. I had respect for him. I had respect for him because you got your lane. You like what you like, and it's that's okay. But his thing is when I say things about what I feel about the game, we all see things differently. We should all have our own options. That's what games should have. Even anybody I talk to, even if they're not a gamer, they say things supposed to have options. That's how you make more money. When if you go to a fast food restaurant, if they only got one option, they're not going to have that much business. But if they got different options, you grab different people. You got different things that they like, and that's true.
Yeah, for sure.
Armani, what's up, man?
Yeah, what's up, Leafy? What's up, Poe?
Hey, Arrow.
What you think about the news? What you think about the news?
I mean, everybody knows how I feel. I've called out the incompetence for a long time now. I mean, that video was just, it was so bad.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you leave us with that kind of ending where it's like, we all know what you did. But at the same time, like, at the end of the day, there's really nothing that is going to make it better. Like, you can say all the nice things, the good things, the great things. Oh yeah, Undisputed 2 is going to be, it's going to be phenomenal. We're going to have all these changes. It's going to be a completely different game. No disrespect to Boxing Fanatico, no disrespect to, everybody that, is advocating already for Undisputed 2, but there's nothing that's going to help with the bitter taste that has basically happened with the ending of this game. Like me, Jay, even Juice to some point, we've all essentially called out what exactly was going to happen. And realistically, Ash just confirmed it. It's just it happened at such a late point. It's like, why are you even saying anything at this point? I get the fact that the community needed some kind of closure, but at the same time, this kind of closure still, it somewhat leaves a sour disdain in the community. Like everybody right now, like all the people that just came in to voice their sentiments and how angry they were about the video and how everything happened. And Ash is in there looking all nervous, like he knows what he did. Like he looks nervous in the video, like it's really straight to the point, but you can just see that anxiety and that nervousness because it's like, I know I messed up, and I know I messed up bad. So at the end of the day, my sentiments to the video is just it's poor taste, and I mean, hopefully y'all do better the next time around. But at the same time, a bad product is a bad product, and that's what y'all gave everybody.
And they had the nerve to turn off the comments.
You know why they did that. You know why they did that.
Yeah, they didn't want to have nobody to say anything.
I think the most interesting part of the video was when they showed ESPC footage. Like while Ash was talking, they showed footage from ESPC. So they're acknowledging that people like ESPC. So hopefully we're getting that back. I might be looking too much into it, but you show ESPC footage, we might be getting that back. I just hope I hope they know where they messed up, and then they pick themselves up from that. Like take like the knowledge of like what the community was saying. Take like what didn't work well, and then just give us a new game with all the corrections needed to make sure that we're going to enjoy the experience of boxing in a video game. That's what we want. At the end of the day, we just want a realistic boxing game.
Well,
and from what Fanatical said, we might be getting that, but who knows? We need to see it first. We need to play it first to see what's up.
I can't trust Fanatical.
I mean,
Fanatical is the industry guy right now. To me, especially when he pushed me out. Fanatical is one of the people that helped push me out.
You know, whenever
But
they
you
say that, basically, like you're starting from the ground up, like you can't do any worse than what you did previously. So, I mean, like the only way you can go is up at this point, and I feel like that's what this game is right now. Like, I know both of y'all weren't in the Discord to see like all the complaints, but I mean, it was bad for about like 30 minutes to an hour. It was just like everybody going like, this is a scam. Like, what are we doing? And I was like, I knew this was gonna happen, and I knew it was gonna be bad because it's just like y'all y'all can't do any worse than what y'all just put out. Like, I mean, realistically, of course it's gonna be a positive from what y'all started off of. But the thing is like you have those people, like you said, Esteban, where they're gonna give their, their sentiments and their points of, oh, there's bright aspects of this game. There is really no highlights in this game. Like, it's
it's
bad.
not.
It's
It's
just,
not.
it's super bad. And what we're gonna find out within these next 2 years is whenever Claimer's game comes out, whenever it comes out, if Unity was not only really the problem, but also if it was the competency or the lack of competence of the development team that was in
Yup.
this game. Because you have all these developers and y'all are saying, we've signed people from GTA and EA and 2K. They're all helping us with this second game. And it's like, I wish you had that type of investment when it came to the first game. Like, of
Yup.
course, it doesn't have to go to that length. Like, of course, we know that you're gonna try that much more harder, or that much harder to get the next game right. But the problem is even though it's your first iteration of a game, you still could have produced a better effort than what
Yup.
you had given. And that's the problem, is you have the offline and you have the online community that is like, I bought this game and it did not meet expectations, and I feel like I can't justify this type of purchase. And it's like, yeah, you gave us the closure that the community finally needed and deserved months ago, but at the same time, it's just like you can't salvage stuff like this. Your community is going to always have this type of disdain for you, because it's like, at the end of the day, I bought into a product that you promised me and it never fit the vision. And I'm trying my best to find the bright spots in a game that you sold to me, and you're not even giving full effort in making it and delivering it to what it was supposed to be. So of course you're going to have all these people who are just, it's not going to be anything positive. It's going to be negative, and it's going to be a lot of just distrust. The question becomes, is Undisputed 2 going to actually deliver? Is Unreal Engine are they going to be able to optimize a more difficult engine than Unity? Are they going to be able to give the online community what they want? Are they going to be able to suffice the offline community? Are they going to be able to do the fundamentals and the basics? Like, there's so many questions that come into this game. And even though it's obvious some of the creators had seen what the second game is, the base, the fundamentals of what the second game is going to be, that's not good enough for a community that's been here for basically years, and it's just like, okay, well, what do I do now? Type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got something to say. Didn't the creators say that about the first game? We seen a great game. They said the game was great. Look how you should have seen how it was planned. They were saying all of that, and then we got what we got.
There was
Would
some
you?
openness. There was like an
It was some
open like
hope.
part of pointing out like the issues. Like they did point out the issues. Like I
What's
know
up, Crooks?
on Fanatica's side, he did point out early like, oh, there's some issues like the defense. Like he told like there's like some issues early on because it was like the starting of it. So, I don't think there was any intent from the creators to lie because they were pointing it out firsthand in the past.
Oh, they was saying stuff. Give me a second, y'all. My mother. Go ahead, you can talk. Talk, Leafy.
Or no, I just feel like a lot of that hype they had for the first game was due to the fact it was like the first licensed boxing game in years. And there was some feedback given, like how like the defense didn't feel right, and there was like a clunky feel to it. So and now seeing what Fanatico had to say about how the game actually looks like boxing now, and how it's like the fluidity of the head movement, like slipping while moving, and like it can like slip and throw your punches like get off the line and
I don't
go
know.
here, according to him. I think there's a much better reception of the first hand experience or like visuals of Undisputed 2 than Undisputed 1. And I think now that's because of the experience they have. I'm not trying to sound like what's it called? Like what's the word when like you went from like hating
Optimistic.
so much and not
Optimistic.
optimistic. I'm not
You're too
well I am
optimistic. You too optimistic, Leafy. Because my thing is, Bowser Fanatical, he plays a lot of different sports games, especially like different like arcade hybrids and stuff like that. And like when I see him do gameplays and stuff, so he says certain things look good. So do we really think he's saying that the game look realistic or is playable? Because he's competitive. So is it playable? Does it look realistic or is it playable?
I
Does he
think
got the
from
same mentality as Estefan?
I think from his
Would you say?
perspective, he's talking about from a realism side of things because he's running like we know he's running
I
through
hope
the fight
I
too,
hope that's
like of
the case.
the creative director, and that game's realistic, and he knows like
It's
boxing,
realistic, but you
like
can
he
look at some of
has
the movements still look clunky. Don't
yeah,
they the movements in
but
Thriller look clunky?
yeah, they definitely do look clunky on Thrill of the Fight too, but that could just be a matter of, because VR programming is different than non VR because you have
Yeah,
to account for the
yeah,
headset, how it's aligned, and there's no body
yeah.
trackers or leg trackers for a lot of VR headsets. You have to kind of make those up with inverse kinematics
They
depending on
got
how you're
them, but
facing.
they got that technology. It's just that for them to sell it to you, it's like nobody's gonna really buy that. Because I've
Yeah,
seen people with the whole setup.
yeah, I meant for like if they put on like a standalone headset, like those ones that are Android
Oh
based,
yeah.
like Quest 2s and Quest 3s.
Let me see.
Wait, is Crooks joining up? I think I sent the link, but
Oh, you
I'll try
want
to
to join
resend it.
in?
Yeah, it sent like a question mark, but
Oh,
I'll try to send it again.
I will say this. I will say this. If the game actually is in line with what um, Boxing Fanatico had said, I will say I think Poe will like this game because what he did say was that they did more on the level of the offline side, and he thinks that it's going to be really, really good. So I do think I don't know about the
oh,
sliders.
he's talking about offline. Oh, dad, now I
Yes,
really feel some type of way that I should watch it. But I don't want to support somebody that don't support me. I want to watch his video, but I'm like, why watch his video when he really doesn't support me? Fox Fanatical, like I'm irrelevant. It's like I literally had a group that Boxing Fanatical was. I made the group, and Boxing Fanatical was part of the group. But when I made content, he never shared any of my stuff. He never spoke about any of my stuff. And I'm like, yo, why? What did I do to you? But it's like, Paul, I guess I can't share your stuff because you're talking about Still City. But we all got our own opinions. That's what make better products. That's what make better products when everybody have opinions about making it better. I can't like something I don't like. I mean, I like. I mean, don't like. If I don't like something, why should I like it? And I look at things from a perspective of reality. Let me see. Vlad said, plus thrill of the fight plays really off the GPU of the headset. That's a really weak game system. What do you think, Leafy? I never played it or don't know too much about that.
VR, yeah. There's a lot of they use like proprietary like mobile phone chips for the Quest 2s and Quest 3s. They use Qualcomm
Mm.
chips, and the RAM in those aren't the best. But in terms
Yeah.
of like, if you look at it from an Android phone, it is powerful as an Android phone. At its core, that's what it is, an Android phone.
Oh, okay.
But as like a gaming system itself, no, it's not. It's not too powerful.
Vlad said, sounds personal. It do sound personal. I don't know what's the problem. I don't know what's the problem. I guess I was like competition or I don't know. It's like it's no competition. I wasn't trying to be competitive with anybody. My thing is I've been this everybody that know me in the community that met me or whatever, they know how passionate I am. They know I'm not backing down. Crooks giving the eyes. I guess where the link at, Leafy? Did you send him the link?
Yeah. I sent him the link. I think that's the right one.
Were you sending in the Discord?
No, in the YouTube chat.
I don't see it.
Unless the eyes are because he's requested to join.
Let me see.
Is Crooks in the Discord? No. Yeah, I think I sent it in chat. Is there a way to like pin
Let me
stuff
see.
so like we can like
Why
like if Joe Pro wants to join up?
Joe Pro want to come too?
No. I mean if like if he wanted to.
Oh, so CTG Crooks the Great. Yeah, that's I wonder what's going on in the Discord. I hate that I'm not in there. Because I like to see what the people talking about. What's up, Crooks?
What up? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can hear you.
Who's good?
So what do you think about the information that we got today?
I mean, they're only confirming what we already knew. So
yeah, some people were saying that they was going to continue with the DLC for the game.
Bunch of dumbasses.
I'm gonna be real with you. It was kind of I was hearing some reports too. I was hearing reports on both sides. So I kind of just was playing wait and see to whatever they announced. So I was just playing it either way, to be honest with you. But it doesn't surprise me that they're moving on to Undisputed 2. It doesn't surprise me.
But my thing is, how can they hold off that long if the game coming out probably 2 years, or late next year? What do you do to keep the fan base?
Well, right now is the building blocks of establishing reconnection with the community. I know y'all two specifically aren't in the Discord, you and Leafy, but the community managers actually were inside there for a brief period of time, even Seth. So I mean, like right now, I guess right now is just the building blocks of establishing a connection back with the community. It's just going to be a long journey.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard. What they're gonna probably get is them newer people that when they had the PlayStation Plus period, you got new people that start popping up in the Discord before I got kicked out. So they might be able to manage them, but the older people, a lot of them they're on Claimer Uncut's site.
One thing I hope Undisputed 2 doesn't do is I hope they don't do early access or open betas. I hope they just keep it to like the trusted testers, like what's Fanatico, Box Size View, Game You Watch, and then pull in some boxers that are gamers and have them play as well. Keep it close and like under wraps, and then release it in 1.0. I feel like the beta, when they did betas for Undisputed 1, I feel like there's too many voices giving opinions, and they took those wrong voices, and then the game kind of fell down from greatness. Obviously, there's a lot of people saying the right things, but there's some more people that were saying things that we weren't in agreement with.
Yeah.
So you have that conflicting of ideas, and then you have to figure out like, okay, how do we satisfy both sides? But just keep it small, keep it like a private testing group. People that are knowledgeable in boxing, people that know or that are big in the community, get those guys in there. Keep it close knit. Wait until you're ready to launch, and then let everyone play it. 1.0.
Yeah,
they did a survey too, by the way.
Yeah, because Showbiz was saying exactly what you were saying, but the way Showbiz was saying it, he ain't saying it like you saying it. He basically saying that the game should. He said, let the developers make the game. No, you can't let no company, like nobody that's in sports game development. They're not making the game by themselves. They got the athletes. The athletes are there in the studio. That's what everybody be getting on me, talking about no athletes in the studio. You a lie. I can tell you right now in EA, EA and 2K. And 2K, they have 10 people that are basketball players, or they somebody in their family, like with Dazar. I don't know if y'all know who Dazar is. That's my guy. Dazar, his father was a professional basketball player, and Dazar was heavy in the 2K community. I went to bat for him. I used to always be like, yo, why y'all not hired? That's why people don't, when people's like say certain things, I went to bat for Dazar being on the 2K team. Because I used to always talk to 2K because I wanted a boxing game. I always talked to EA. They had me, they pulled me in. But when people be saying little things, that's what be getting me mad. Like, why y'all upset with me for talking to companies? I'm not trying to get paid. I ain't saying, hey, y'all pay me. I just do this because I want boxing represented accurately in the game. And what's wrong with that? Every sports fan want their sport represented accurately as an option. But people say, hey, no, it should be represented this way. It should be represented that way. If you got options, we all can get what we want. But nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. What's your thoughts on that?
I also just wanted to say real quick, off topic. They did do a survey. They have a survey out. SCIXO had put it out. Him and staff, they were talking about doing a survey for people to click on some link, and they would provide a survey or something like that. So you do have the survey that they did. They did that right after the video came out.
A survey, but they doing it. See, they fooling y'all.
Oh God,
they doing it. When a company did, hey, look it up, read it. Is a proven fact. When a company does a survey, when they do it themselves, they can frame it. Let us see the results. But with a third-party survey, there's no way that the company themselves can frame it. That's the thing. Like I keep saying, they say, well, let's do a survey. Poe keep asking for a survey. Poe keep asking for a survey. Let's do a survey. Let's get. No, that ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a third-party survey. But you know why they're not going to give a third-party survey? Because other companies going to get their ideas. Because if it be public, like a third-party survey with public results, other companies get to see that. But if you're so proficient and you're so you don't care that because hey, my product is good, you shouldn't care about another company. That's how Ash was talking in the beginning. But what y'all think? What y'all think?
I think it's good that they're doing a survey for Undisputed
man.
2.
Stop
No,
saying it.
I'm sorry, but I feel like it's a good thing to like get the community more involved, you know? Like Undisputed 2, they drop the news and then they're throwing out a survey.
Yeah.
Aaron, what's in that survey? Like
I don't know.
is
I
there
haven't
any
looked at it. I'm not going to do it.
Yes, I knew Aaron wasn't gonna do it. Of course, Aaron not gonna do it. No,
Y'all
but
got
survey
y'all.
is surveys are a scam. Just like when they ask you to put ideas, put an idea section in the Discord. They don't pay attention to that. When Steve was doing what he was doing, that's when it means something. When you literally got somebody's like one of the people like the community manager or the moderator saying they're collecting that data, that's when you can say, all right, the wish list means something, our ideas mean something. But other than that, everything goes to the bottom. It's called noise. So they're doing that. It's called community. I forgot what we call it. Because I'll keep telling y'all don't believe Poe was a community leader in a community. I forgot my titles. Community leader and senior moderator. And I was not practicing, but I was training to be a community manager with EA. And the developer Brizzo and all of them was saying, they was telling me, you be a community manager and eventually you might be a developer because the way you think. And I was like, oh, sweat. But my passion and my mouth wouldn't let me go that far. So what is y'all's perspective of the day? Or what's going on with this day? Crooks.
What's up?
So what you think? What's going on?
I mean, to be real, today wasn't a big surprise. That's why I don't really have a big reaction to it because I had already planned on it happening. I'm not. I guess I just don't want to give like a big reaction to it because it's not something that we all kind of didn't already know. The survey shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, they're gonna do that to kind of get. I'm looking at the survey right now. It's literally just basic information about how you felt about the game and all that different stuff, which is fine. Going forward, I mean, really to keep the game alive, yeah, they're probably gonna tap in with their content creators. They're gonna still be paying to advertise on rings and on shorts like they did with the Derek Chisora fight and like they did with the Caroline Dubois fight. They had Undisputed up there, right? So they'll keep it alive. And as far as Undisputed 2 goes, I mean, to a point that Leafy just said a little bit ago, you don't want to keep it to a small community because those people that you named, only one of them competes and really plays the game regularly like that at this point in time, and that's Box. And even Box right now is he's on Arc Raiders and doing all that stuff. So you want to have as many perspectives as you can because it gives you different ways to look at things. Where if you keep it to a smaller team, then you might not be able to see the as I would say, you can't see the whole picture. You're just if you're inside the frame. You know what I'm saying? Some people look at it from a different perspective than others. So, I mean, just them getting the right people in there. I feel like they have, from the people that I know, they have a good balance of competitive people that are testing the game right now to, just content creators that are in there. But I mean, just making sure, really my thing is with Undisputed 2 is them learning from their mistakes as far as, the connectivity issues that we were having with Undisputed. Because I feel like the systems would have worked correctly and better. I would say better, obviously not perfect, but they would have worked better had we not had so much desync in the game. I feel like desync, I feel like people don't really understand how much that really messed up a lot of the systems that they had put in place. So that clearly number one. But I feel like, we're really gonna see what they've learned. Undisputed 2 is really gonna be the make it or break it game for Steel City, if I'm really being honest, because a lot of people were, hey, like, we'll give them a break because this is their first game, but with Undisputed 2, that's all out the window. Now people expect a 10 times better game than what you gave them the last time, and Ash understands that. That's why what I got out of that video that he made today is like he realizes that him and the team, they made a lot of mistakes, and they have to own up to that. And I respect him for hopping up on it, because I mean, he didn't have to say anything about Undisputed 1. They could have just left us in the dark, which I respect from a certain point. I wish they would have said it sooner, but they said it when they said it, so I respect it. But at the same time, it's apologies without actions behind it mean nothing. If you apologize but you do the same thing, then it's you haven't learned your lesson. So I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. I'm interested to see, what Undisputed 2 is gonna look like, especially with it being on an Unreal Engine. I feel like the game is gonna look and feel a lot better. With those of you guys that don't play games like UFC, you guys will notice a big difference instantly when you guys play Undisputed 2 whenever it comes out. But making sure to give all of the mechanics the proper time is what I'm worried about. Like what I would put a lot of stress on. Give each system and each thing the proper time to be developed before you release it. And then once it's released, using that testing team and really listening to not only them, but listening to what the feedback from the community is like. And yeah, just staying tapped in with the community is also a really, really big thing going forward. So that's just my opinion on it, though.
Yeah. But my thing with Ash is this is what I keep saying. They're using the excuse that it's their first game. No, it's Ash's first game, not the developer. So that
It
excuse,
is a lot of the developers' first game. They Ash had made a point that he made some bad decisions even with the hiring process. So it was a lot of
that
people's
part,
first game.
yeah, that's the part that he needs to talk more about. But the hiring process. But I'm going off of it's a lot of people that was there in the early 2 years, 2 or 3 years that were they had experience. They start after that year. Then they hired a couple of people that was inexperienced. But the first year, first 2 3 years, they had people that was experienced. So when they say that it's their first game, I saw people that's let me see, 3 or 4 people that made great games. So when they say it's hard to do certain things, that's why I'm been like, yeah, that don't make sense to me because me, I've been around too long. So I seen more things than some people do, or I pay attention to more things than some people do pay attention to. And this is one thing when Ash said, and I was laughing because he's saying things that people really don't know. And that's what he planned on. When he said the movement system, he said I wanted the movement system in the game to be realistic, and that's what kind of was messing up the online system. I'm like, that ain't true. That's not true. And so he basically saying he's gonna take that out in the Unreal, because Unreal Engine supposed to be a more powerful engine according to them.
No, I think that they're trying to what the original vision of the game they're trying to implement into Unreal Engine.
That's
If
what
you-
I'm hoping
Yeah.
is the fact.
And if you remember too,
Can I say
the
something
whole
real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
All right. So I know more about like the engine, right? Like the back end, as far as the Unity. So like when the game came out, and like I was playing the leagues and stuff, and I was trying to figure out like why every time they keep putting out patches, the decent it's not getting better, it's actually getting worse, right? So like I work in IT, and I work with a lot of developers, and the Unity engine itself, what those guys end up doing when they started making the game, they went all in, but like they weren't knowledgeable about like what's the best engine to run a boxing game on. They just went with like whatever they can get, and they assumed Unity is a popular engine. They assumed that was a good engine to make a boxing game out of. But Unity itself, it's a good engine, but it's an engine for specific type of games. Like they're more popular for like mobile games and side scrollers and stuff like that. And these guys never, if you know what rollback networking is, rollback netcode. If you don't know what that is, they apparently didn't even know what that was either. So as far as making games on Unity, it's easier to develop games on Unity, but it's really hard to undo whatever you had already done. If you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So by the time these guys went into early access, right, everything that they went in on already, like that they weren't paying attention to by the time they went into early access and had guys playing online, all those things that they were trying to fix, especially with the netcode. They didn't have rollback. They didn't have the rollback netcode in there, and they were using the Unity engine. So they were trying to scramble and fix the netcode and online game, but they had already implemented that so early in the beginning of the game that they were never going to tell you, listen, we're going to just scrap the game and start all over. They're not going to do that. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. They're not going to ever say that. So
Yeah.
by the time they realized they couldn't like go back enough where they can redo the netcode where it could be better for online games, they had already started shopping, trying to get what we call Unreal Engine in there. I think they considered trying to port the game over to Unreal Engine, but that wasn't going to work either because that's not an easy task. You might as well just make a whole new game.
Yeah.
From my point of view and from my like where I work and like all the questions I asked and all that stuff, and that's just the reality of that. A Unity engine, anybody in the gaming industry that's gonna make a boxing game, because if you're gonna make a boxing game, you need everything to be dynamic. You know what I mean? You can't have so much what do you call it like everything cannot be animations. You know what I'm trying to say? It needs to be loose. Everything needs to be dynamic. And if you're trying to make a boxing game out of Unity, it's such a bad engine to make a boxing game out of. And that's what ended up happening. Now, as far as like going on Unreal Engine, like I was telling somebody else today, like for you to they would have to try to mess up the game for it to come out bad. Like it's gonna be better regardless. Like that's just it's just that simple. It's gonna be better regardless because they're not gonna have all those walls that they had with the Unity engine. And the fact that they have a whole new staff, you'd have to intentionally be trying to mess up the game for it to not at least not be more playable and look better than the game they had before. That's it.
Yeah.
Wait, so
What I hate,
Unity?
what I hate is that Ash talking about the franchise. You don't. I don't hear companies speak about being a franchise because once you say franchise, that means you're going to leave things out. We thinking about what he said 13 years from now. So that means you're going to leave out a lot of things. That's
Wait.
the mind frame that I think. Because
Wait, what do you mean 13 years from now?
he's saying as a franchise, if you companies don't think like, hey, we got 13 years, we're gonna for this company. Each like
Are you saying because they signed fighters for that long?
Yeah. So they got Ali for 13 years. But he said that right there shows you that we're looking to be a franchise. But my thing, when you say y'all going to be a franchise, what are y'all going to leave out to make, for the next game? For the next game, y'all going to keep saying, we can't give them this. Let's save it for the next game.
But how I kind of see this, like, okay, their initial game, the initial Undisputed one, right? Yeah. That game, basically, I mean, I'm not giving them grace, in the sense of this. It was an indie company. They were very motivated to get a game out, a boxing game, whatever. They kind of went in like I feel like they didn't talk to the proper people. You know what I'm saying? They went in very ambitious, and they didn't map out everything perfectly. I mean, good. That's why I feel like that's why they ended up where they ended up. They made they picked the absolute worst engine to start a boxing game on, and because initially they wanted the game to come out and they wanted to just keep doing updates like other games, like for example like iRacing. The game just keeps going on and keep giving it updates. But the platform they started off on is so bad they had no choice but to start the game over from the ground up. Like that's realistically what happened. There's no way there's no way you're gonna you can advance this current game. There's no way you can advance it. It's just a terrible platform to start off
on. Claim Uncut said that he's making his game on Unity.
I don't think he's making it on Unity. I think it's an Unreal Engine. I think when he made his little commercial, I think he said Unreal Engine. I don't think anybody's making a boxing game on Unity. That's crazy.
No, he showed. There's something in the video where he showed, like the process of him making environments, and it was the Unity UI. I'm pretty sure there's like a Unity UI in there, like the play button at the top.
It's Unity.
I'm gonna go back and check. Well, is the game supposed to be? Because isn't it like a MMO or something? A boxing MMO? Is it gonna be online?
I think so. I'm not sure, but I think.
Are you talking about Claimers?
Yeah.
It's on Unity.
Yeah, but is it gonna be on? Is it gonna be on? Are you gonna be able to play other people online?
Yeah, he wants to build it for online out the gate.
Yeah, online and offline. Yeah.
So I mean, the only thing I can think of is since if he started his game early enough and he's building it on Unity, he's trying to lay a platform on online base right off the bat. Unlike these guys where they start building the game and then they try to do online later.
Yeah, and that's
because Ramon's saying if you start building it one way and then you try to revert and to change something all the way to something you started in the beginning, that's when you're gonna get in trouble.
But I know. Well, I keep hearing y'all say the online is being built first when technically offline is always built first. What you build offline decides on what the online is going to be. I don't know.
Yes, but
maybe I'm
that
wrong.
that game engine Unity
Okay.
is notorious for that.
Okay. I
Like
don't
if
know.
you start building online, if you start building offline first, and you try to go back and like pull things apart that you already built to start fixing stuff that you messed up for online later, you might as well take the whole thing apart and start over.
Yeah, because
that's what these guys were not willing to risk.
Because that's what Ashton was saying, that other developers from other companies that he brought in, they looked at the game and say that the coding is so messed up they don't even want to touch it because they're scared they're going to break something else.
Yeah, but what I was like, there's a couple other guys I talked to, like that we play in boxing leagues, but I told them this like a year and a half ago. Like he's telling you this now because he's ready to go on to the next game, but they were never going to tell you that.
Nope.
I mean, that's like, that's basically blowing up your own company if you tell somebody that early, you know what I mean? They were never going to tell you that, but if you know like how the boxing engine game works, not the boxing engine, but the gaming engines work, I mean, I knew right off the bat, as soon as they started putting out those patches and the desync was not even getting fixed at all, at times it was getting worse, it's baked into the engine. Like you gotta start all over.
Yeah.
Because when games come out, I don't know, like an Xbox and a PS4, if they have like an online issue, they put out a patch, and usually the game gets a little bit better online. It never gets worse. This was the first game I had ever played that every time they would have put out a patch, it absolutely didn't do nothing for the online. They built it wrong from the beginning.
Let me see. That May was saying a lot of stuff about what's up. I'm precisely. May was saying a lot of stuff. He was saying something about rollback netcode.
Who was saying that?
Made in the YouTube chat. He was saying something about the netcode. I'm trying to see what he was trying to say. But Ash keeps saying all these different things, and he's saying things that other people don't understand. And I was like, Ash, what are you saying? That's not true. And because Ash was saying stuff to make himself look better or make the company look better. And I was like, what? You said that don't even make sense, some of the stuff he was saying. And my thing is, he did the whole thing wrong. He should have did like he usually do. At this time, I think Will Kinsley should have been right near him, so they could it could stretch it out a little bit.
Don't be surprised if this game, this new game, it comes out later on this year, early next year, though.
Would you say?
Don't be surprised at all. I said, don't be surprised if this game comes out later on this year or early next year.
I think probably next year. Jay and Mame said probably the end of next year.
Nah, I don't think it's gonna be that long, to be honest with you. I think you're gonna probably start hearing things within the next. You're gonna start hearing like the next couple of months, like a lot. I think you're gonna hear a lot of chatter. You're gonna probably see some gameplay within the next 3 months.
Yeah, because I know they got to do something to keep their fan base. So for them to make this announcement and do all this, it's something got to come at least a couple of months after, because and they said no DLC. No, you got to do something to keep your fan base.
Oh yeah, I think they're gonna. I think
No,
they're
they
gonna
don't,
do
because they already made a lot of money.
That's true too.
I think they're gonna do everything that they did with the first game, as far as like early access and all that stuff. I think they're gonna have a lot more confidence. I mean, because this, like the situation that they're in, it cannot get any worse. So
Yeah. So I what's gonna say look up some videos on Unity and Unreal Engine 5. I guess he's talking about how companies have used Unreal have merged from they like transition over from Unity, actually moved it over to Unreal Engine 5. But I think the way Ash was saying it is they're working from the ground up. He literally said, we're working from the ground up. I said, Dad, Ash,
I think like you're taking it. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think you're taking it too literal. Like, I mean, to me, working from the ground up means they're basically doing the same thing that they've done before, but they're using whole Unreal. So they're basically implementing everything they've done before, but they're just using Unreal. And Unreal Engine itself is a whole different ball game. Like, they're gonna have the ability to do everything. Well, not everything, but they're gonna have the ability to do a lot more stuff that they couldn't do at all in Unity. Like all those what do you call it? All those animations that like lock you in a boxing game, which to me was like that should have been like 101. Like if you throw a punch and you're locked into an animation where you can't even react to what the other guy's gonna do, that should have told you right there that's the wrong engine. Like everything in that game is an animation. You can't stop the animation, like, which is crazy to me. Boxing is about timing. Like, how are you gonna have everything as an animation? Like, even the bob and weave, like, I don't even do that in the game because I'm like, it's a whole animation. I can't even stop it when I want to.
Mm. Yeah,
it's a long animation.
Oh, I'm gonna head out for now. I just wanted to speak on what I thought about Undisputed 2 and contribute to the show. But yeah, I'll try to be more consistent. You know, I got two shows in this week, so hopefully again tomorrow. Yeah, no problem, Po.
I know.
Have a good rest of your night, guys.
See you, Leafy.
See you.
Make sure you back all the way out, Leafy. I ain't want to see nothing I ain't supposed to be saying, so back all the way out, Leafy.
Wow. Yeah, like I wanted to talk about just the engine itself. Like, I know how bad that Unity engine is for a boxing game. Like, that engine is bad, especially what they're trying to implement, like a whole like league, and they wanted to be like a whole league, online league.
And they're trying to do the esports.
Yeah, like they're trying to be in esports. To me, it's crazy. Like, why would you start that in a Unity engine? That's gonna be impossible. I didn't even know the game was in Unity until like early access. Like, until I started seeing the what do you call it? The desync. That's why I was like, what's going on?
But the ESBC version, then you thought that was Unreal Engine?
Yeah, it didn't register to me. Yeah.
I thought that was Unreal Engine. Even the internet thought that.
But I think what they did was, but you know what messed me up? Why we thought it was Unreal Engine? Because we were just watching the fighters move. You know, we didn't realize they're just moving the fighters. They weren't really into too much action early. They were just moving around. The fighters they looked like a good movement, but we didn't realize most of those movements were still locked animations. It's not nothing was really fluid. And you know how I ended up finding out? Remember, Poe, you remember Dant 8 from Fight Night?
Who?
Dant, DANT 8.
Yeah.
So me and him, right? We were sparring. This was early access. Me and this guy are sparring, and we're recording it. And then he's telling me like these combinations that he just landed on me, and on my screen, I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, you haven't done anything. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So we thought it was just crazy. So we started recording it, and that's when we realized, like, okay, something's up. This was way early. And then that's when I started doing research to see what engine these guys were using, and I'm like, oh no. And they
Yeah,
kept trying to fix it and fix it in early access. In early access, kept trying to fix it, and yeah,
yeah, because
it was gonna
once they
work.
start, because even EA, like Brizzo, he was even telling me, he said, why are they saying they're gonna fix something and then they just go somewhere else? Because they kept saying we're gonna fix the clinching, we're gonna fix the referee in the ring. Then they didn't go back. So that means the goal
Exactly,
messed up, they couldn't do it.
exactly. It was all those things that they implemented. They implemented it so early in development to take it away. It's, for example, if they went like I'm like for example, I'm gonna give you what we call a situation, right? Like, let's say they went and decided to try to remove like change the bob and weave, right, to where it's like not so animated, right? If they went and if they implemented that so early in development, they might go in there and try to change the bob and weave, and then all the characters, um now when you try bob and weave, their whole lower half disappears in game. Like, that's like how bad it is when things are baked in early, like you in that particular engine, that
Mm.
you can't really go and edit much. You edit something else is gonna get messed up. You you pretty much. So what I think was happening to them is they would try to fix stuff, and something else would get so messed up they had to basically put everything. They had to put what they try to fix back in, or else they'd have to basically scrap the whole game.
Yeah, because they leaving big holes and it's like you leaving these spots. It's like you ripping something out and then it's gonna
And
start collapsing on itself.
exactly, and exactly, that's exactly what it is. So, like, that you pull something out from the bottom, everything else starts falling apart. So
Yeah.
you can only edit stuff from the top. Like, after everything's built, you can kind of edit stuff from the top. If I have to go all the way to the bottom, now you got to start all over. But they were, like I said, they were never gonna tell you they're gonna start over. You got to read the writing on the wall. Like, once you saw that
Yeah.
they started looking at developers for Unreal Engine. Bro, when I saw that, I got excited because I already knew, like, no, this, because you can't fix that game. Like, you can't fix it. Everything was baked in too early.
I'll be back. Y'all keep
I
talking.
was, huh?
Keep talking. I'll be back.
No, yeah, yeah. They need to start from the beginning. I gotta get gas.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
All good. But any update on this guy's game?
Claim Uncut.
Yeah, like where's he at right now in development?
He just said he working on. He said he got his head down, still working on it. You're not in this Discord. You go in his Discord and he'll keep you up to date because he literally pops in there and talks to the people. That's something other developers don't do, but he literally stays there and conversate with us.
Yeah, he's as passionate as you.
Yeah, that's one thing that we like about each other. See, my thing is, even in the Undisputed, the Still City Discord, there were people there that was kind of passionate or they wanted to learn. Because the AI guy they had, his name was Little Mac. He
Yeah.
liked me. And my thing is I'm heavy on tendencies. Because to me, when a game has tendencies, it helps the developers. It helps the developers a lot. When you got tendency sliders, it helps you a lot. It helps you get by on a lot of things that you didn't do right.
No, I agree with that 1,000%. I hope they learn to have like basically have a back end build like everybody can have access to on their own offline game. You can't go online you could if you're playing your friend, like for your friends, I guess you can set your certain rules and certain tendencies and your own custom settings and all that stuff. I hope they learn from that because but I may be honest with you, Poe, like that game is like from a visual standpoint, if you're not really playing the game, if you're just watching it, it's not so bad. But like if you know like the sport of boxing and you literally cannot do like a good, I would say like a good 60% of like things that you should be able to do in boxing. You literally cannot do that in that game.
Exactly. And my thing is, this is something that's missing, and they know it. I guess they do be listening to these videos. Like I be telling people, when I do these videos, there's like 6 or 7 people that's not in this Discord. Not in the YouTube chat that's saying anything. So that means there's people here that's in the industry or whatever that's listening. Because I know when I be on LinkedIn, they say that they be on here, but they can't say nothing.
And then you gotta look at it like this too, right? I kind of feel bad for them in a sense, like because initially they were trying to make all the boxing fans and the boxing gamers happy. We ain't had a boxing game in a long time, right? So they kind of went in and like, they want to be the hero of this, and they went in very ambitiously, which I gotta give them, you gotta give them credit for that.
Yeah.
But like, if you never flown a plane before, and you tell all these people that, oh, we're gonna get out of here, let's get on this plane. You're gonna fly this plane. You're ambitious. You want to get people from here to there, but you never flown a plane before. This is exactly what happens. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know where to look to get like the proper guidance for something this ambitious. Now the only thing that worked out for them is like so many people were so hungry to play a boxing game, they were able to make a crazy amount of sales. But like I was telling this other guy the other day, like you could also, we're all mad. We paid money for this game, and the game ended up being like not that good. Like fight. I wouldn't even say it's better. I would just say it's better looking than Fight Night. And Fight Night came out like almost 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just better looking than Fight Night. That's about it. But in reality, that's why I kind of feel bad for them because they learned this lesson the hardest way. Like I would not want to be in their shoes. Like if I'm being honest, like I don't want to be that guy. I want to show up and save all these people, but I missed so many like cues and didn't get advice from the right people, and then it went the wrong way, and I end up with this thing, and now everybody hates me. You know what I mean? But I'll give them this. They could have took the money and said, you know what, that's it. We tried, we failed. Let's take this money, move on, go into a different business venture. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I gotta give them a little bit of grace. Like they went and got the right engine this time. I'm me from what I do. As far as my work, like I know for a fact, just with the engine alone, this game's not gonna look anything like the old game. Just by the engine alone. Because they're gonna have they're gonna have more access to not using like a lot. Boxing is a dynamic sport, and they're not gonna have so many animations. Like the animations are gonna be like, okay, they have the ability to have you throw a jab and I can like stop my jab and put in my block. Like you're not gonna be locked into animations just by using this engine. It's just that simple. Just the engine itself is gonna help them not have to deal with that. If you understand what I'm saying.
You understand?
Your feet are not gonna be locked. Like you take a step to the left. The old game will make you take a full step to the left. Like this engine will make you, if you want to stop on a dime, you'll be able to stop on a dime. You'll be able to react. Like it gives them much more access to for the game to be more realistic. Now, hopefully they hired the right developers. I'm sure they did because they were hiring for
Oh wow.
Yeah, they were hiring for guys who have worked on Unreal Engine before.
Yeah.
Before that, they were just getting wherever they could afford to build a boxing game on Unity. Like it's gonna be a big difference as far as like how the game looks and feels itself. It's gotta be a big difference.
But they also go with the vision because we don't know what vision that, because it seemed like their vision changed up. Like they went more towards the arcade feel. Is that vision still stick around?
Me personally, it won't bother me as long as they give me accessibility to make the game customize the game myself. If you know what I mean. Like,
that right
if I
there, I'm good with that.
If I'm able to play in a league and the league has certain rules and things they don't want to see, and you could just simply go into the custom games for an exhibition match against somebody else and implement these rules and implement these custom settings, I'm not gonna be mad at all. I don't gotta deal with desync. I can box the way I want to. I can counter. I don't have to be locked into animations. Guys can't get away with these exploits. Oh, I'm good. I'm not gonna complain. But they gotta give us that leeway. Like they gotta give us those custom settings.
Yeah. The only thing about some of these leagues, I don't like the rules that they be saying that you can't throw this many this and this many that. But
bro, I'm 1,000% with you.
Yeah.
Did you see what?
I put a video. This guy hit this guy with at least 8 or 9 hooks to the body. That's on you. If you letting the joke hit you with 8 or 9 hooks to the body, that's on you.
I agree with that, but the reason I think some of these leagues were saying that is because the game is so broken, right? Yeah. Like, and with the desync, if I know you're gonna throw a bunch of hooks to my body, and I should be able to block them because I know you're gonna throw them. But if the game's not letting me block them, that's an exploit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what like as a community, like that's what they should be looking out for. Like I've been in a league where they had what is it they told me the other day? I was trying to play in this league and they were telling me that, damn, what is it that he said? Oh, that you need
jab
to block
the body, uppercut.
Yeah, like you need to block a certain way. Oh no, he said try not to throw more than this amount of punches in a round. I'm like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
if I throw that many punches in a round, that's on me. The guy in front of me should have his own game plan to hope,
Exactly.
make me, run out of gas in the later rounds, and he could take advantage. If I want to throw 200 punches around, let me. You know what I mean? Like he should have his own. If he's there to get hit with 200 punches that early in the round, I'm gonna get him out of there. You know what I mean? Like if he's smarter than me, he needs to figure out a way to knock this out and me, to deep water.
Yeah.
But he was saying, nah, you can't throw this. I'm like, man. I mean, that was another thing that made me be like, man, this game is garbage. Like, if a guy's throwing 200 punches around and by the 6th round he's not gassed out and you can get him out of there, nah, that's just garbage.
Yeah, it is. Let me see. May said they already showing it to them, and XCI been ahead of their audience. Fanatical said he's seen gameplay. Box Eye Review probably did too. Right, they not changing much about the game. I bet just putting more on old
No,
gameplay mechanics.
no.
I think they're gonna add on
The,
because
the
that's what
people the people that are saying that the people that like I get why they're saying that. They have faith in. I mean, I get it, but if you know how developing a game works, the fact that you're going from one engine to another, it's a whole different game. So it's gonna be a whole. Nothing's gonna look the same. None of the punches are gonna look the same. You're running the game in a whole different engine. So a game like when you're watching both games, they shouldn't look the same.
yeah.
Let's just say they built the worst boxing game part 2, right? The game, even if it's a real bad boxing game, it still won't look anything like the one that they had before because it's a whole different game engine. If that makes sense.
Yeah. PLO 617 said unfinished 2, untrustworthy 2, unrefined 2.
That's fair. Can't even be mad. Like it's fair. Like but they unfortunately, like I said, I would not. I would not want to be on their situation in a sense, because I saw what they tried to do. They just and to be honest, I don't think they thought their game when they started this. I don't think they thought honestly. I think they thought they were gonna be like still small independent. They didn't think it was gonna blow up this big. So them blowing up this big is what caused a lot of the backlash.
Oh, you got to hear what they said to the owner in the beginning. They said he was too over ambitious. I would have fired them. I would have got I say I got to hire more people, because when you challenge the owner like that, say your ideas are too ambitious, especially
Who
when
said
you're
that?
not a boxer. He said the team. He said my team said I was too over ambitious. I'd have been like, well, that means I can't do my job that I want y'all to do, so I got to hire the right people.
But
that's how I would have took
But
it.
I think people think, but I think a lot of people think that when that initially happened, this guy had all that money. He didn't. He only had enough to hire that small group. So firing those guys halfway into that small development on that Unity engine, you would have been dead in the water, because they had to sell this game to make this game. You know what I mean? That's how they got 100 that much staff this time.
Yeah.
So
But
firing them at the time.
Ash is Ash's fault, because Turkey out of cheat, they would have had the most ultimate game ever. He wanted it to be, but Ash pushed them out some type of way. I don't know, is what's his name, Ryan Rhodes, because he's an investor too. I think Ryan Rhodes pulled in up 2 other millionaires from England to be a part of the team. So that puts Turkey Al-Sheikh out the way. Turkey Al-Sheikh just promotes the game, like marketing.
But I would say by the time all those guys got in, that game was already like 70% done. So
yeah, but the way Turkey moved, they could have a massive team, and it would have been like.
Yeah, but they still would have to start over.
Yeah, but it would have been
the engine was bad.
The team size make things move faster. Turkey would have actually been able to give them a massive team.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with that. But what I'm trying to explain is the game was like pretty much like 70% done. So they would have had to scrap all that and start over. I mean, that could have been an option, when they were in early access. But how are you going to tell all those people in early access, hey, like I look at it both ways. How are you going to tell all those people in early access who already invested in your game, nah, it's not coming out right. We're going to scrap it. We'll see y'all next year. You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to, as much as people complaining right now, my God, can you imagine if they would have said that? It would have been like, we got robbed. They stole our money.
Yeah. But I was already looking at it
they were in a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, because I was always looking at it at the early access. I thought we weren't going to get the game that fast, but we got it faster than I thought.
Yeah, because hindsight's 2020, right? Most people who were looking at it from that standpoint didn't realize how building a game on that like how far they were into building that game, like they couldn't go back. You understand what I'm saying? From where they were at, they couldn't go back. They had to keep pushing through and hope for the best. And as they kept putting out patches and as they kept giving you DLC, hoping people would quiet down and stuff like that, the crying and complaining got louder. I mean, to be fair, it's people, a lot of people who love boxing, that could have been the last, $30 to get that game. So
yeah, because I hated that when people kept running.
They were in a lose-lose situation.
We need the game, and the publisher and the investors say they want the game, give it to them.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. That once they started with that engine, and they were building it kind of like ass backwards. If you knew the game was built for what do you call it, competitive online esports, if you knew that was the case, your foundation should have been like building it for online right out the gate. You know what I mean? Like making sure everything you implement is for online. But they were in the group. He was ambitious. He sold everything he had, whatever he quit his job, whatever he said he did, and he's just pumping money into this without no actual guidance. You never built a game before. This is how you find out how hard it is. You know what I mean? That's why I kind of like I get it. I've done things like that before. You jump into something head first, and you're like, oh snap, I went about this the wrong way. I might have to pay for this. But for them, it's on a way larger scale.
Yeah. Yo, Fanatical got me a little excited. What he said he saw. My thing is,
I mean, whatever he saw, we're gonna see a glimpse of it at some point within the next couple of weeks or months. And I ain't gonna be shocked if, like, I mean, I'm expecting it to look totally different. To be honest with you, I'm expecting it to look way more realistic, because we've been playing this game for what, like 3 years now. I think it's gonna be
me. I've been playing
pretty
it for
obvious.
I've been playing
six years.
Yeah, but not street. I think I stopped at the first year because I started seeing what was the game was starting to become.
Yeah, yeah. I played it for ever since early access. I've been playing it. I don't know what that is, but I just know that when it got apparent that there was nothing they're gonna be able to do, that's when I started doing like a bunch of research to see like the capabilities in Unity, and I start pulling up what AAA titles use that engine. That's when I lost all hope. They were mostly side scrollers and games on like what's that game called that something cup.
I don't know.
It's a really popular game. Something cup. It was I forgot the name of it.
Oh, it's a teacup
Something
game,
cup.
right?
It's a yeah.
Yeah, I
That's a
know.
side scroller. That's the kind of games that use that engine.
Let me
There was a
see.
shooter too. Escape from Tarkov. That game got so much hate because how bad code is the game. Like that's not an engine you use for like a dynamic game, sport like boxing, man. It looks good. It can look very good, but if you're gonna do something like boxing, nah, that's not the engine. You need like
Yeah.
something that has the ability to do a lot of punch tracking. Try to do punch tracking with engines, like that's not it. Like you gotta, you need Unreal Engine for that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, I'll get with you some other time. I just got home. Gotta walk in
Okay.
and handle the family.
All right.
All
Appreciate
right, you
you,
have a good
man.
one, bro.
Appreciate you tagging in.
Good talking to you. It's been a minute.
Salute. Tevin Williams said that's not true because Ash said they were going to remake the game like they did for the release. Plus, Turkey is a trillionaire. That would have been the better plan to go with. Exactly. 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 If he went with Turkey, man, we would have had the ultimate game. No excuses. Hello Games had a smaller team size and still fixed their game without asking for any extra money with No Man's Sky. Exactly. Exactly. I agree. Exactly. Exactly. I know some people say, well, they're two different games. Still, it's a point that's being made. Exactly. Aaron, what's up, man? You've been silent.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm driving. That's the only reason why I've been really silent.
Oh,
I'm heading to the store.
oh,
But
oh,
I mean, a lot of the stuff he said I already knew, so I didn't really have much to say to it. But I mean, like when
oh.
it comes to a development and programming skill, I mean, like yeah, of course you got a lot of intricacies and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I mean, the game is the game. But I don't feel bad for the devs at all. I mean, it's not every day where you can make a mistake and make over $5 million out of it. So I don't really feel bad for the devs to any kind of point because we
Me
all make
neither.
mistakes, and most of us will get fired for those mistakes, and
Exactly.
you know there's
Me, I
things
don't.
where it sounds more sentimental to what the
Yeah,
devs are, and I just don't agree with certain things he said
yeah. My thing is,
respectfully.
I don't. I'm not going to defend the devs for one. They're always coming at me, trying to attack me because they know I know what I'm talking about, and because my thing, when I say certain things, I get it from other developers that's been in the industry for a long time. So when they know I'm telling the truth, they attack me. They try to come at me and say, "Well, who told you that? That's not true." I say, "Yes, it is true." Like who was that? I forget his name. That being in the Discord, one of the
Devs,
one of the devs. He be
pound
popping
for
in.
pound, undisputed.
I think that's who it is because
He,
he pops in
he,
the thing every once in a blue moon and start talking to us.
yeah, he was in there earlier today.
Oh, I know he was. Dad, I wish I was in there, man. I was thinking, I was like, Dad, I should make a ghost account, but I think they made it so that I can't, so I'm not gonna try it. Let me see. Vlad said they could took the money and bounce. Yeah, true.
I mean,
But there's too much money
that's
in
with
this game.
everything in life. That's
It's
with
too,
everything in
but
life.
it's too much money in this sport. That's why I keep telling them. When I be telling that to if you add it up, because I did the math, if the company makes the game right, because you see how many people Ash said play, they didn't they it's like if you click on the game just to see what it is, that goes in the algorithm as people played or saw the game with PlayStation. Ash being slick with what he's saying. But a boxing video game, if it's made correctly, because you're trying to attract all fans, actual boxing fans, and you want to get the casual fans, you can make $1 billion in 1 year. $1 billion, that right there. And look how many copies Steel City sold in a week. Now imagine if the game was the way it should have been. How much money they would have made. How many copies they would have sold. That says a lot.
My thing is you can feel sorry for the devs, but understand the people who don't feel sorry for them. It's cool for you to, have an understanding of development side and from the dev perspective. But at the end of the day, I'll speak for the community that does not feel sorry for them. They have every right to not feel sorry for them. So
I don't
real,
Only
realistically,
person
people.
I kind of feel for is Aimbot because Aimbot wrote a thing for my son. But Aimbot, I'm mad at Aimbot too because he did the coding. Aimbot did the coding.
Yeah, he was inexperienced though, so he didn't know better.
100%.
But at the same time, that falls on account of Ash and his hirings because Ash hired a lot of people. He put people in place to hire other people, and they made bad decisions in their hires. So at the end of the day, we can talk about it's the engine, it's the personality, it's the people behind the game, it's the people who support the game. It doesn't really matter because all in all, it was a bad effort from. There's a portion of the community that it's their fault too. And when I say that as the community, I say that as the community is also a flaw within this game, as in they know what they're doing and they know why it's broken or they know how to do certain exploits and mechanics and benefit off that. So there is a portion of blame that goes on the community as well. But when it comes to the development side of it, the majority of the blame goes on them because they knew what they were doing. And yes, they're not going to tell you, oh, we don't know how to do this. They're not going to tell you all these things. But at the same time, where they messed up at is they made a promise and they did not deliver on that promise. It doesn't matter where you are or what field you're in. If you're gonna have a promise, you better deliver it because when you have a promise, there's expectations that need to be met, and it doesn't matter if it's $1 expectation or over $5 million of expectations. The point of the matter is if you give a promise, you are expected automatically to deliver on that promise if somebody's going to support that. And at the end of the day, a lot of people feel shamed and scammed, rightfully so, by Undisputed. Yes, this was their first game. Yes, there's going to be mistakes in a first game. And yes, they also made bad decisions when doing this game. First of all, they had the opportunity to be on Unreal Engine for one. That's one thing. They had the opportunity to be on Unreal Engine, but because they decided to go on the easier route and the cheaper route, the community paid for it. So with that being said, it's not just the fact of, oh, they're on Unity and stuff like that. They had the choice to be on a different engine. They had the choice to make better hires. Now we all see, okay, you made your money. So of course the expectation now is Undisputed 2 better be great. It better be great, because at the end of the day, it's make or break at this point. There's no other excuses as to why Undisputed 2 will fail. You've got people from GTA, Rockstar, etc., EA, and 2K, all this stuff. I mean, you got
He
all these
shouldn't have
people out
said
the
that.
woodworks.
Now the expectations go high. He should have never said that.
Oh
He
yeah,
should've
it better
just
be
kept
realistic.
Yup,
That better be
he
as
should have
real as me
never
seeing
said
my
that.
hand at this point.
Yup, he should have never said that. Now the expectations go higher.
Oh yeah, and I
It's
think
co-level expectations.
And I think that's reasonable, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if people are going to decide to purchase your product again, oh, you better deliver on the second time of expectations, because fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, that's shame on all of us who purchased the game again.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, I do understand where the community comes from, where there's a lot of aggravation and irritation towards the development team, and I don't think anybody should ever feel shamed for feeling the disdain that they feel towards the development team. Nobody should ever make the community feel like, oh, you should feel bad for them because of this, or that we should be understandable because it's their first game. Listen, not like I said before, not everybody benefits off the first mistake with over $5 million. So at the end of the day, community feels the right that they feel when it comes to how they feel about the devs, and that's okay. At the end of the day, okay, the devs made a mistake. Do better. Do better. That means when it comes to the communication with your community, do better. When it comes to delivering on your advertisements, do better. When it comes to expectations, do better. When it comes to everything that you do it 10 times better. Because what you did with this game, it was piss poor effort. And that's the reality.
Facts. I'm precisely said, it seemed like we're getting a pretty good career mode from Fanatical's reaction, po darn. Then he said Fanatical says it seems like they're going for game of the year when it drops. Sports game of the year. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. That's gonna be a hard task, because you got 2K. Even what's gonna hurt 2K is that the microtransaction. But 2K, their games are pretty decent, and it's like, I think they're the best sports game. FIFA is not even the best sport game no more.
Oh, it's up there. It's still up there.
Oh, okay.
Of course, it's got its issues, as all the sports games do, but it's definitely up there still.
Precisely said Estevan still defending Undisputed 1 heavy for no reason. He is 100%, because he's winning in it. He's winning in a broken game, so he's going to defend it.
Honestly, I was winning in a broken game, and I can't defend it. So we all got our.
We need people like you, though. We need people like you to talk about it. He said, "Dude is a weirdo, man. He is. He is. He looked like, and no disrespect, but disrespect. He looked like my uncle. He looked like my uncle, and I know I'm probably 10 years older than him. I know I'm probably 10 years older than him, but he remind me of an uncle that, he don't see reality. He defends his reality, even though he's doing things that don't work. Let me see. I'm precisely said he keeps going on about that people suck, and when it has nothing to do with that. Exactly. My thing is, if he trains somebody and I train somebody, the person I train will beat the brakes off the guy he trained. That's all I got to say about that. Because he be trying to come at me. He be coming sideways at me. He be like, you just suck. Man, I boxed. I boxed in real life. So you can't tell me I suck in anything. I know what boxing is supposed to be. You probably know what a fighting game is supposed to be. So when Estevan be saying that stuff, be making them like sneak disses and stuff, and he said, everybody saying all that nonsense. He said, but y'all still gonna buy the game. I said, I didn't even buy this game. Steel City gave it to me. But I bought 2 extra copies to give away. But Steel City gave me this game. Because with me, I always wait. I wait to see what the game really is. I don't think I would have bought the game immediately. I probably would have did the same thing I did with EA. I did not buy Fight Night Champion. I never played Fight Night Champion. And I know that's a lot of people like, what? You never play Fight Night Champion? Not you, Poe. Never played the game. Everything I did is from what people told me. All they had to do is tell me what the game was when they went to the event and they saw what Fight Night Champion was. They said, Poe, you're going to be very disappointed. It's not what we were told the game was going to be. I said, I'm not buying it. Maybe I did it out of being, feeling, what would you call it? Feeling like I was being betrayed. I felt betrayed because the devs asked me for that wish list, told me to gather the wish list of all the fans. I did that. I did what Steve basically was doing. Plus, I had my own ideas. I did all that, and everybody was excited. They said, "Yeah, we're gonna get ideas in the game. Poe collecting data. His ideas is great. We're gonna get that in the game." And then they only put 5% of that in the game, and that's when I was like, "Yeah, nope, I can't support that." You still here, Aram, or you shopping?
No, I was just listening to you.
Oh, what you went to? You? I thought you was going shopping, or you just sitting in the parking lot.
No, I already got my stuff.
So you was
While you were
you was
talking, I just got my stuff.
Man, you get it, man. You was talking while you was buying stuff. Man, yo, I know the joking that you was buying. Like, what the heck is he talking about?
Oh yeah, no, I finished my shopping. It didn't take me long.
Dad, man, I should have did that. Man, I did the show late. I was like, man, Dad, I was telling people outside because I had to catch the bus because my wife, she do her own different thing. And I was like, Dad, I said I'm late for my own podcast. And people laughing at me. And I got here like 40 minutes late.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, man. Life be lifing.
Exactly.
I was like,
but no, I mean, Boxing Fanatico, I don't really pay attention to a lot of what Boxing Fanatico says. Like, and I'm not going to say that I'm not a supporter of his content and stuff like that. Like, because I watch some of his videos from time to time. But at the same time, I know that sometimes he has a history of overhyping stuff and it not delivering.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
there are certain times where it's like, some good comes out of the stuff that, he's hyping up and stuff like that. I feel like with Undisputed too, I feel like because that they're going to be on Unreal Engine, I feel like I'm not going to say that it's going to be exactly what he says, but I will say that I feel like Leafy had said earlier, more optimistic this time around because of the people that they now have doing the game, and also because of the fact that they're on a more powerful engine, and they have better people who are more aware of how to work on that engine. So when it comes to that game, I do believe what he said when it comes to the content creators were there. They had seen things, and they thought that what they had seen was really, really, really good. I believe that, and I'm hoping that, of course, whenever the final product comes out, it delivers what it was supposed to for the online and offline community. Because what he had said was, online, there was a lot of things that they had basically done some tests, and they had done like a connection test where one player was playing against another player, and no matter how high the ping was, there was no desync, there was no um super delay. Of course, whenever it gets to a certain ping, it's going to start having issues and everything like that. But when you had even a decent connection, the ping did not have any kind of desync or any kind of issues when it comes to what we have in Undisputed One. And I believe what he's saying. And if they really do end up doing the rollback netcode that they were talking about and stuff like that, I believe this could be a great game. My hopes are that the game ultimately delivers for the offline community, as much as I have a bit of optimism towards the online side of the things.
You think
There's
offline,
definitely some hope.
online is not going to be that
Not
well?
all hope is lost.
You think online
Do
is
I
going to
think
be?
online's going to be that well?
Yeah, because he's basically saying he's going to focus a lot of attention on the online because he has to, because the esports aspect of it. That's their money right there.
So I'll explain essentially what he had said about the offline. Was he had said that basically, like, the offline mode, it has more to it, like it's more basically substance, but he doesn't go too deep into detail about like what they did specifically, because I guess that would break NDA. But he had said specifically when it comes to offline, he has said that there's a lot more than what what they had presented essentially with Undisputed One. He said that the offline community is going to be really happy with the amount of improvements they that section of the game, and he feels like he basically feels like it's a good step forward to where they were before, and he feels like once everything comes out about it, people are going to be really happy when it comes to the offline side of things. Now, I don't expect anything when it comes to like because he said it was really early stages. I don't really expect any kind of like a gameplay or any kind of substantial updates until 2027. So
JMMA going, Now
honestly, I
this,
feel like
what I need to say, Jay. If they put some tendency sliders in the game, or you can't say.
Undisputed is going to end up doing.
What happened? You keep fading in and out, or you just stop talking. Yeah, you fading in and out. Something going on your end. Yeah, but I hope they have some tendency sliders in this game.
I don't know about the tendency sliders. That's the one thing I'm unsure of. Just because I don't know if because he didn't really, like I said before, he didn't really say anything like major about what they had done to offline specifically, but he had basically made it just seem like it's going to be really a major improvement, like an overhaul in comparison to what this game is. So when it comes to the tendency sliders thing,
don't know.
Yeah, I'm unsure. I couldn't really give you an honest answer on that one.
Okay. Hold up, Jay. This is something I got to talk about. Why is Steel City doing a survey?
Oh God!
Why they doing a survey, man? You gonna fill out that survey? Don't fill out that survey, man. You can't fill out my survey. You gonna fill out their survey?
I
You
thought
can't
me and
support
Jay
my
both did the
survey.
survey.
What'd you say?
I thought me and Jay both did your survey.
Yeah, I'm messing with him. But my thing
Oh,
is the support part. The support. That's the part I'm talking about with Jay.
Oh,
The support part. I'm trying to get the third party survey, and I couldn't get his support with that because if Steel City make the survey, it's noise. It's called noise. Look up what's noise in the gaming industry. They're just what they're doing right now is they got y'all attention. Now they got to work on it, and we're gonna put out some surveys. We're gonna put y'all in. What they do is they're gonna put now the developers gonna start talking back to us again. Well, not to me. I'm not in the Discord, but they're gonna be talking to everybody for the next couple of months until somebody get out of line. Then they're gonna stop talking to us again. But somebody's gonna get out of line because they're gonna get frustrated because they're not hearing what they want to hear. But the developers gonna start talking back to you. SAF gonna be start talking back to y'all. Jay Shep, they're gonna make Jay Shep work for his money this time. They're gonna tell him, hey, you can't be doing that ARC stuff and not being in the Discord. You got to put more time in the Discord. So they're gonna make him, CB, all of them. And this is something I gotta say. And a lot of y'all gonna disagree with me, but I know what I know. CB, when he was doing that motion caption, he was doing it wrong. He was doing it wrong. I was looking at him. When he was doing the stepping, I was like, what the heck is he doing? And then, who is that guy that was catching him? See, these are the things that I pay attention to. Was that guy a coach? Because he should have been a coach. We don't need developers telling somebody, hey, you're doing this wrong. How you know I'm doing that wrong? You're not a coach. So was that a developer telling CB, throw it this way, throw it that way? That makes no sense.
So I saw that little spliff of us Sibby doing that.
Yeah,
I don't think he was actually doing it on like the technical purposes of it. I think he was more just like showcasing like basically how to do it with the mocap also, so that way it's all captured. I don't really think he was trying to do anything technical to like show that you have to be like a certain type of way. He was just basically showing that like if you want to fully be able to capture all this and stuff like that, you got to do it like this. So it wasn't really more of like a boxing to show the boxing aesthetic of it. He was just showing like how to get it all captured within the capture.
Yeah, but this another funny thing. How did I know that technology exists? And I've been telling Ash about that for the last 6 years. Because people thought you still put them balls on your body. You still attach the balls and sensors like that. No, you ain't got to do that no more. You ain't even got to be in the you know how they did the camera thing when they was taking pictures of the boxers. Some of them used to do that. You ain't even got to do that no more. The way CB was doing it, that's the new technology. That's what I be trying to tell people. I was been saying that but nobody know. But I'm glad they showed that because it shows that they can do what we need to be in the game.
Yeah, because they spent 6 hours with him doing mocap specific.
Yeah, like that means they were doing a lot of motion capture.
That means that they were capturing details, which is what what has been overly emphasized from. And I'll even name some of the people: you, Jay, Darkside, Fight Night's Finest, me. We all have been, even Prioxis, like we have all been emphasizing how much details of boxers, animations and stuff like that, it all needs to be captured. Like the complete authenticity of that boxer's prowess, like what makes them unique, what makes them who they are, what makes you love that specific type of boxer, like all those type of details we as boxing fans want. we as boxing enthusiasts want. We want all those little details and all those little animations, all those little tendencies, everything that makes them who they are. We want that captured in that boxer in a game. So when I saw that they had spent that much time with Tio specifically, and then hearing that Bud had also done a lot of the mocap too, I was actually happy because I had looked at one of the things. They had this like a sector, and it basically showed like each animation that they were working on, and it showed like the right hook, like the body hook, like they had showed like exactly what individual punches they had wanted to actually work on for the mocap session. So it's stuff like that. And also, Tio doing his little theatrics that he sometimes does in a fight. Like they were capturing certain details that makes Tio who Tio is, which also gave me a little bit of optimism because I'm like, if they're really going to actually have all these elements of him, then I'm excited of what they're gonna do with other boxers, because if they're gonna do that to that kind of detail, I expect that for a lot more boxers, not just Tio, but a lot more boxers.
Yeah, and Tio even said he did his backflip animation.
Yep, his backflip animation, and then his punch from behind the back that he sometimes does. Like they were capturing that in the motion capture. Yeah. So it looks like they're actually trying to get and nail down the detailed animations of the boxers, and I'm hoping that they're consistent with all the boxers because I want to see Bud and he actually box like Bud. Because what we have in Undisputed 1 now is just like it's just basic animations. It's not what actually entails Bud as a boxer. Yeah. So a lot of the stuff I had seen in that motion captures session, it made me a little bit more optimistic for Undisputed 2, because I know with Unreal Engine there's a lot more that you can do. I've played a couple of Unreal Engine games, and when it comes to graphics, it's second to none. I mean, the graphics are always amazing. It's just it all comes down to, can they fully optimize the game and also nail down all the details of what makes boxing a sport? That's what it really comes down to. Yeah. Because all this stuff, when it comes to the particulars of capturing the boxer's authenticities, that's great. But you also need to nail down boxing as a whole. That way you don't run into these issues where you have all these boxers and they're boxing, but you also don't have the fundamentals of what makes boxing the sweet science.
Exactly. And my thing is, I don't want everybody to fight had the same thing they could do. Everybody shouldn't be doing the Ali shuffle.
I agree.
That should be off. Everybody should not be able to, like we had in the beginning. Everybody could not switch stances. And they made, I'm like, whose decision was that to make everybody be able to switch stances effectively? Because you couldn't switch stances effectively. He said it depends on your trait, or it was traits and something else that you couldn't do it effectively.
Yeah, you would need the switch hitter trait.
Yeah. And all that changed. All that changed. I was like, daggone.
Yeah, because in the game right now, you have people as Amir Khan switching to southpaw mainly, and actually being successful off of it, which makes no sense.
Yeah, that's crazy. That right there. See, that's the thing that stuff like that. I when I see something that's going to trigger me, I avoid it. And I knew that would have been triggering me. They'd have been like, he the most toxic guy in playing this game, because I would have been angry about every little thing. I would have been like Beast. Beast like, Poe, you should be playing the game, man. I ain't what I'm gonna do? Just be angry? Then I start thinking, that's what Beast angry.
No, I think Beast angry just because Beast angry.
Yeah, that too. That too. Because I used to talk to him every day. And that joker, like, if that joker laugh, I say, Dad, he laughed? I got beats to laugh. God dog, I must be about to hit the lottery. I got that joke, be making a joke of laughing, giggle and stuff like, oh, all right. Like that joke would be angry about everything, or he trying to fight somebody.
Oh yeah, he's got a very serious personality.
Yeah, so that right there, because he always wanted to talk to Ash and the team. That wasn't gonna happen because you scared him. You scared him. I'm scaring him, and I don't even say nothing.
Oh yeah, I mean Ash. Ash he seems like a person who's very timid.
Yeah,
very timid.
100%, 100%. Like when I talked to him, he wasn't really timid, but I could still tell the timid in his voice because I'm from the hood, and that's what you look at in people. You see how timid they is, see if they're a victim or whatever. And Ash seemed like he could be victimized. As like people could take advantage of him. Might not can be, but that's what it seemed like.
I think it's both, but yeah.
What'd you say?
I said I think it's both, but yeah. I think he's one of those people that's very easily manipulated, and he's also a very timid person. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but like
that's what I be saying. I'm not being, but it's just what I kind of look at. It might not be. It just probably be like he humble himself talking to me. He probably feel comfortable, but then other people see it. Other people say, man, Ash soft. He's soft as tissue. I say, oh man, why y'all gonna call Ash like that? Now he got the beard and stuff. I guess that's why he started growing the beard out and stuff.
Man, that man looked like he'd been living straight out of Miami.
Yo,
I tell you, you see that all the time in Miami. Oh my God. I was like, he's been living in Miami straight, just living off of that money. He been living good.
He do it. And you see the weight picked up on him before. He looked at gawky. His face looked like he would like really don't eat that much. That joke look like he is steaks and everything now. I was like, he looking like the other brother. The other brother.
All those boxing events that they've been hosting, they got those sirloin steaks and junk.
Yeah.
You got to get the finest of the finest.
Yep. That right there, but that's another thing we got to talk about. Them hosting events. Why are they hosting events? Why don't you just use that money towards gameplay, developers, and stuff like that? You hosting all these events. Too much marketing to me.
I mean, that's probably a lot of I'd say probably that's 20% of the portion of Undisputed 2 is the whole marketing aspect, because I mean you know that they're gonna have to really, really sell the idea of Undisputed 2 to people. And then on top of that, you're gonna want everybody to be in your game. And when he talks about, you also need the types of boxers who, don't have the biggest names and stuff like that, or not the most notarized in the sport. Like, that opens the door for, boxers like Carmel Moton. Like, it opens the door for more boxers who aren't that well known, but also being able to be put into the game. Because it's like, obviously, they're not going to have all of the boxers, but they're going to try to get as much as they can. So they're going to try to do these boxing events where they're hosting, and it's like, oh, wow, who is this? This person, he works for Undisputed Steel City. They have a boxing game. Oh, I never heard about it. Oh, well, you should talk to this guy over here. This guy's name is Ash and stuff like that. Or Kell Brook, if they're, in the UK and stuff like that, since, that's what one of their headquarters are. He puts the name out there. Oh, you should talk to this guy named Ash. He's making a boxing game. I'm in it too. And then you have people in, Florida, the Cancun, like the wherever, just the nicest areas, Las Vegas, like all these places, they're going to be marketing themselves and hosting events, because if they're hosting it, it makes it seem like they're a whole lot bigger. and it's like, oh, well, I kind of want to be in that game. Who'd you say is in that game? Muhammad Ali? What? You have until 2037? Oh wow, I want to be in that game. Like, there's so many people. It opens the door for so many people to be in the game that a lot of real boxing fans actually want in the game, but weren't in Undisputed One. So of course they're gonna do boxing events and host them and stuff like that because it's gonna open the door for them to become. It's gonna open the door for a lot more boxing. The boxers to come into the game.
Yeah. PLO said, "Fool me once, and it's a wait till a sell at best." That's what a lot of people gonna do.
Oh yeah.
Dad, I forgot what I was gonna say. But Ash, my thing is, Dad, I'm trying to figure out what I was gonna say. I got distracted once I read that. But JMMA, what is he gonna I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to bounce around. But I forgot.
When is he going to go to the event? An event?
Oh, I know what I was going to say. You said event. That right there. Ask them is backwards hustling. Why aren't you going to these amateur and these tournaments and stuff? That's where your money at. That's why I've been trying to tell them for the longest. That's your money. The amateur circuit has over thousands of boxers. You advertise to them, their families support it. But they're backwards hustling. They're gamers. These young boxers, they're gamers. So you want to hustle, you want to advertise to them. A lot of these amateur boxers, they probably playing something else. They probably not even thinking about boxing games. And that's the thing. You create an event, do a Undisputed amateur boxing tournament. That right there helps your brand. But they're not thinking right. And I just gave them something to use. It's easy because if I had the funds, a lot of people said, "Poe, you should you should do a amateur boxing event. You should do something like that." I was like, yeah, if I had the money, you think I wouldn't do it? No, I wouldn't do it. I'll probably open me up a restaurant. No, I wouldn't do that. That wouldn't be my first choice. And that's crazy because you would think, "Poe, you the boxing guy," and that's the first thing you think. Yup, I'll be the guy with a restaurant and part-time probably be, dipping and dabbing in amateur boxing. But no, I'll open me a restaurant first. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, Ash, they on a marketing scale, they definitely don't make the best and most sound decisions, but they do what works for them, essentially. Yeah. So, I mean, it just really leads to the consumer base to basically wonder why they didn't do certain things better. Why didn't, a common question is why are all these boxers signed to the game, yet they are not even in the game? And, that there's false advertisement to that aspect. But at the same time, they probably have some kind of deal in motion where they have exclusive contractual rights to certain boxers that weren't put into one, but they'll at least be able to be put into Undisputed 2. So they have basically a contractual rights to certain boxers for both games. Which is probably why we didn't see them in one. It still doesn't make sense why we didn't see them in one, but realistically, they probably just, Ash kind of explained it, we don't see the purpose in putting more boxers into the game when we can't even fix the game in the state that it's in. So realistically, all the boxers, so all the boxers that are gonna that were in the game but didn't get put into one are just going to end up being put into two.
Yeah. And my thing is, because even when I was helping round for round, we always signed boxers to like 2 or 3 game contracts. And from my understanding, Steel City was doing that with some of their boxers. They weren't doing it with everybody. They was doing that with some of their boxers. So they probably did that too.
Oh yeah,
Like Clarissa Shields, I think they got her for like probably 3 or 4 games, something like that. Cause she's saying they
yeah,
paid her lovely. She happy with what they paid her, and
yeah.
she was supposed to be signed for a deal with DLC. I mean, get paid from the DLC only. Because that was one of the things that I told Ash. You get a lot of boxers because if you tell them they get paid off of DLC, they make more money. They will take the DLC. It's easier to get a boxer that way than to straight up pay them when you don't really have the money.
Right.
Because I know with round for round, we ain't had the owner ain't had none but his bank account, and the bank account wasn't looking hefty at all. And this Joker, I was like, man, how you gonna get him? And he didn't know how he was gonna get him. I said, this, I'm gonna give you a pass. Tell them DLC. I said a lot of people gonna be mad, but they're gonna support it because you're an indie company. And tell the boxers they get DLC and let them know that they get a large portion of the DLC, at least 80% of it. You gotta, to me, that's what the boxer should get, 80% of the DLC.
Yeah.
But companies be giving them, I think, 50 or 40% of the DLC. That's crazy. That's crazy. With Floyd, I know they got to give him probably 80-90% of the DLC.
They probably got to give him the whole DLC.
Exactly. Exactly. And they're not going to lose out. See, I think when Ash said that $10 million, he just said that. He just put that out there. Because I don't think no boxer went that high. Because it don't even make sense for a boxer to ask an indie company for $10 million.
It doesn't, but boxers also don't look at that aspect of it's an indie company. They look at money. They look at how much are you willing to buy, buy my image and stuff like that, my likeness.
Yeah, because when we was talking to boxers, it was like, y'all an indie company, and how y'all gonna make this game and stuff like that. Said we're gonna make it. We're gonna do it. Do you want to be a part of it? And they're like, how much you gonna pay? I say DLC. DLC, you get more money with DLC, especially if you got a big fan base. And that start making boxers get attracted to it because when you say their fan base and you say your fan base is going to support you and you're going to get 90 and to me that's more than you even made as a boxer.
Yeah.
Because if you got, let's say, 1 million people buy the DLC, you getting paid. You getting paid with 80%, 90% of it, man, you getting paid.
I thought boxers like Lamont Roach were going to be in this game because if you remember, he had always advertised whenever asked about the game, like, "Oh, I'm willing. Like, if they come and talk to me, we can talk business."
Yeah.
So I had expected for a while Lamont Roach to pop up and end up being in the game. I expected Oshaki Foster to be in the game at one point. Stephen Fulton.
I thought, yeah, Fulton. You ain't see what I posted. I think I posted in my Discord. I thought I sent it to you, but he was on that list, the old list of the ESBC list.
Yeah, the ESP. Yeah, Stephen Fulton. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I saw that. Names, they had a lot of names that's not in the game.
Oh yeah, they had Stephen Fulton and Oshaki Foster was in the files. Mike Tyson was in the files.
Yeah,
like there's been a lot of names that have been in the files that never surmised into the game for some reasoning, but they'll end up probably just being in 2 and just it'll be what it is.
But my thing is, why Ash saying 110 boxers when they signed over 200 and 300 boxers? Because the last time I talked to Todd Grisham before it seemed like Steve Kim took over. Now they're talking about 110, and somebody was saying that. Well, they didn't say that many. They didn't say that about. Yes, it is talking about. It was
Entities, like
characters in general.
mhm.
And I said, no, that was separate. It was the boxers, and then like that was an add-on with the trainers and all of that. That ain't had nothing to do with the boxers. Cause I remember Todd was like, yeah, we're gonna have like over 300 boxers and stuff like that. And I said, yeah. And I kept sending them boxes. He's like, keep sending them, Paul. We had Mildred Teller, we had Chris Berg, we had David Tour. We had a lot of people that they were trying to put in the game. But I don't know what happened with that. I guess
Some were unfulfilled contractual obligations.
yeah, that you know what happened with that. They was taking too long. Steel City was taking too long with that because I was wondering, and I know why they was taking. We know why they was taking too long because the game was breaking every time they put somebody in.
Yeah, it would cause more desync.
Yeah,
Every single time you like there's certain aspects like loose foot movement, and you can't even enjoy loose foot movement with boxers like Emmanuel Augustus, because it literally makes the game worse because you have so much more desync in the game. Just it gets so laggy, so much more latency whenever you put a boxer into like loose foot movement and everything like that. So yeah, adding more boxers really just it made the game worse.
the PLO said every boxer in Undisputed plus the DLC needs to be included in Undisputed 2 from day one. They're not gonna give it to you for free because they're thinking they gotta pay these guys.
The boxers that are already purchased in one, I do believe that they're going to be free in the second one.
What the 100? What 100 something on boxers?
No, not all the boxers that were in the game. Like the boxers that have already been put into DLC, like and put into the game, they're all I think going to be free in Undisputed 2.
Oh, okay. So that means they're gonna pay them boxers then straight up.
They either have to pay them straight up, or they're also getting more royalties in DLC too.
Yeah, because they some gotta come from that because DLC that's supposed to have been their money, and like this game and the next ones. So I guess the royalties. But this is another thing I want to tell people. When they say they got a lot of money with the workforce that they got, they putting out at least $3 million a year with the workforce, with them developers. So you paying $3 million for them guys, then you paying for the studio, then you got 3 studios, then you paying each system, I think 33.3%. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Mean, they might have not bought the certain studios outright. They might be renting it.
That's what I was trying to say because I was like, I don't think they bought the whole building. I think they renting out a floor.
But then again, there was one studio that was pretty big, and it literally said Steel City, I think Interactive or Undisputed, and I was like, dang, they probably purchased the whole lot there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What we seen today.
Yeah.
When we seen who's that Box Eye View, he went there, and on outside in the parking lot, it got still. I was like, daggone, y'all ain't playing.
Oh yeah, they made money. I'm telling you, like, we will not know how much they fully got from this, but I guarantee you they made a good bit of money because something tells me that they were able to get all their employers money and stuff like that. They were able to get everything done on the most part when it comes to boxers and their royalties and how much they're gonna end up paying them fully. Like something tells me that they still came back with a good bit of money. And then on top of that, with the Undisputed 2, they're going to probably make a good bit of money too, to be honest. Because you're gonna have people who, one, they've never played the game. They never played the first one. And then you're gonna have those new players coming in. And then you're gonna have, of course, the certain people who were playing one gonna play the game, whether they liked it or they didn't like it, the first one. And then you're gonna also have, like I said before, just a new player base at this point, because it's the same thing for EA. EA has been capitalizing off that for years, unfulfilled promises and not delivering, and still either garnering a new player base, or a lot of their old player base comes back eventually at a certain point in time. Like that's just how gaming works.
Yeah.
Like they end up finding a way to be able to monopolize off of their communities,
Yeah. Jay
whether
said,
old or new.
yeah, Jay saying something. He said, "You saw the survey?" Nope, I didn't see it, and I'm not looking at it. No. Putting it on PlayStation Plus was a bad idea. No, it wasn't for them. It wasn't.
Now that was their tall tale sign of we're done.
They knew what they were doing because that's how you get data. Their thing is, if you because a lot of people, even if you look at it, that's data. Hey, we got 100 people that play the game, and you know darn well nobody played that game. They probably just checked it out to see what it was about and then kept it moving. And that's what they was hoping for.
I couldn't even watch the full video, but I know that Ash said over like 8 million players playing. I'm like, there can't be like 7 million players or something like that playing offline specifically. There is no freaking way. So I was trying to figure out if he got that number from like all the players who had played the game, period, or if he was just pulling out a random number, because there ain't no way there's 8 million as a player base for this game. There's no way in the game's current state.
Why you erasing, man? PLO said more than people saw the game was trash. he deleted it. Man, you ain't a part of the team, man. Why you erasing stuff, man? They ain't gonna get you. Are you scared they're gonna ban you out the Discord?
I could be watching.
Yeah, they be
watching. I'm just kidding, Zap. Don't.
Nah, I think they really do be watching these videos. Let me see.
Oh, I know Zap does sometimes.
Yeah. Let me see. 6 people in here watching. Yeah, I had 87 people come through today. That's good. Let me see. More people saw that the game was trash. It got more negative exposure. Yeah, but the thing is, the people saw it. That's and Ash using that to his advantage. That's one of the reasons why he locked the chat, because people was gonna probably say, I didn't like the game, stuff like that. They were trying to control the narrative. Yeah, man. Yeah,
that must have been
I'm in this show because it's been like almost 2.5 hours, and I got here late. I was gonna do 3 hours, but I said I didn't know I was gonna go this late, and I got to go run to the store real quick before it closed too.
Right.
But I can't do like you because I don't got my phone jacked up. I gotta get the new screen on it. They want me to get a new phone, but nah, I like that phone. I just want a new screen on it.
Yeah, I feel you. I've done that too, where I just replaced the screen instead of the whole phone.
Yeah, but it's gonna cost me probably like $100, right? Because I got
a new screen.
Yeah,
it depends on what the phone is, what kind of phone it is.
This is an Android.
It could cost anywhere from like $100 to like $80, depending on where you go.
Yeah, So I'm gonna see can I get that done. I hate sending it away because I'm a data guy. I don't like for nobody to have my data. So you know, I rather like takes to a personal little spot. Jay,
I'm the
you
same way.
still here? Jay MMA said,
Mm. He always says it. That should be annoying.
yeah, man. Jay, what's going on, man?
Oh god.
I know you was just in that Discord.
Oh yeah. They talking it up over there.
Dad, man, man. I was like, Dad, I should try to find, cause you know, all you gotta do is go into, and I know I'm telling on myself. All you gotta do is go into a different, what's it called? What's that? I, I don't know why I got a brain for it right now, but a different server is that's what? No, not a server, a different
Yeah, Discord server.
no, like Google. It's something like what'd you call that?
I don't know.
Yeah, but another thing like that. Jay, you know, can you tell me right fast? Because right now my brain is like, cause my son he put me on this. It's called Brave something, and I don't know what it is. But you get into that, you should be able to get like I can make another account, but I don't want to keep doing that because eventually they're gonna be like. Because Poe sound like Poe no matter how he try to disguise himself.
Oh yeah.
Because they were saying, they said that sounds so familiar to somebody. And I try to play it off. I say, why people can't sound the same? That's because I admire Poe. that didn't go in the years like, yeah, right. And they banned that account. I said, daggone, man. I think somebody pressured him because Donnie, he really, respect me. He don't, and I think
he's lighthearted.
Yeah,
he's lighthearted.
Yeah, I finally saw how Donnie looked. They say, "Hey, there go Donnie right there." I said, "Check Donnie out."
Mm-hmm.
And
he's tall.
And he wanted to go to one of them events. He's like, man, I can't wait. I want to go to one of these events. He wanted, I hope he has some ideas. I meant to hit him up. I'm going to hit him up when I get a chance and say, Donnie finally got there.
You definitely should.
Yeah. Donnie a good person. He tried to look out for me, but he said he tried to get them to take the band down. But I said, nope. I said, don't push it because they was looking for any little thing to get me out of there. That they could say, hey, you ain't supposed to do AI and my thing is that could have been anybody because I did that same picture for my ex guy that I was working for. He looked the same too. I said, how y'all gonna say that's Ash? He didn't have no 5 o'clock shadow and stuff like that. They said, man, we know that's Ash. I said, Dad, gone. I ain't say nothing bad about him. It just had a picture of me yelling in his ear. I guess that was, to them, that's threatening.
For them, that's enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm about to go to the store, man, before it close. I don't want to be there at the last minute. But man, I appreciate you coming through. I didn't even get to read my script. I think I might come back on here later and read my script. And hopefully none of y'all interrupt me when I read my script. But I'm gonna come back on here, read my script, and I might do a what's called to Ash video. I might do what you call that?
A reaction review.
Yeah, reaction. Man, can you imagine what kind of reaction it would look like with me doing to Ash video?
It's gonna be funny.
Yeah, man, it might. I might feel sorry for him a little bit. Not.
Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming through, man. And
of course.
Yeah. And shout out to JMMA. Shout out to PLO 617. Shout out, who else came through today? Shout out to Precisely. You was missing the action, Precisely. Shout out to Vlad 146. Shout out to who came in? I got Tevin Williams 2725 came through. Made came through. Made Play came through. Let me see. I know some other people came through here. We had AJ Pax. We had Leafy. Shout out to Don D 205. Well, we had oh, shout out to Joe Pro. Joe Pro, New York City. And shout out to Aram. I appreciate you, man. Until
Appreciate
the next
you
show,
too.
man. Peace.
Peace.